Let's see. So then what the BMS? Okay. It is the combination of what? RDBMS and OOPS. That means RDBMS is equal to RDBMS plus what? OOPS. OOPS concept. OOPS concepts added to the RDBMS. They introduced a new DBMS called ORDBMS. Okay, now to the existing RDBMS concept, they added OOPS concept. But what is the main concept of OOPS? OOPS is introduced because of two. One is security, another one reusability. Security is not required because RDBMS provides security. Okay, na? So what is taken from OOPS? Reusability is taken. Okay, na? Then reusability concept is added to RDBMS. So then designed a new one, RDBMS. So what the difference is? RDBMS doesn't support what? Reusability, but RDBMS supports reusability. That's so this is the difference. Okay, then. But here, once again, see this. How it supports means, like once again, I'll take one example. If you take RDBMS case, then you want to store customer data, ID, name. I want to store customer address. For storing the address, I'll take house number, street, city, state. Then ID, name, house number, seat, city, state. Okay, then I want to store employees data, employee ID, employee name. I want to store address. Then take house number, street, city, state. Suppose if you want pin code, you can also have pin code. Then see number of tables. What is common? Number of tables. What is common? Address is common. What is common is address. Address is common. When address is common, when address is repeated, how many fields are repeated? Five. Five fields are repeated. So if address is repeated, you have to repeat the five fields now. Then, but in RDBMS, you have to create the tables like this. There is no option. But in ORDBMS, so what they introduced is they introduced it one create what's that? A table. Create a table. What is the table? Address table. In this table, store house number, street, city, state, pin code. So create one table for storing the address only. Then, so now you are creating a customer table, customer ID, customer name. You want to store customer address. For storing the address, you don't need to take five fields, take one field address. You want to store address now? Then you don't need to take five fields. Take only one field. What that field is? Address. Sir, understood? Then next, employee table, employee ID, employee name. You want to store employee address. Then take one ADDR. So wherever you want address, simply take ADDR. You created ADDR once, you can reuse this in number of tables. What this is called? Reusability. Created once and you can reuse this in number of tables. Okay, now then that's all. So this is concept introduced in what? RDBMS. Then that's all. That is the only difference. Reusability concept is added. Then what are the ORDBMS softwares? What are the ORDBMS softwares? Then one is SQL Server supports ORDBMS futures, Oracle supports, PostgreSQL supports. So all these supports what's that? ORDBMS futures. Got it? Then okay now? No. So now, okay, then. Now if I ask you what is SQL Server, then SQL Server is basically RDBMS and also support the features of RDBMS. Okay, then. Now, next. So before going to, like, see, before going to the actual course, okay. So before going to the actual course, so this is your actual course, SQL Server. But before we start the SQL Server, you need some basics. So I'm just discussing what that is: database, DBMS, RDBMS, ORDBMS. Okay, now then we'll discuss one more. After that, again, next we'll start the actual SQL Server. Okay, then. So what is that is? Database, what's it? Development life cycle. Okay, database development life cycle. So what this is database development life cycle is what are the steps that companies will follow to develop the database. TCS is there. So TCS company wants to develop a database for some company. So what are the steps they follow to develop the database? Okay, then. So I think you already know this. What is analysis? Next one. Design. Next. Development. Next one. Testing. Next one. Deployment. Next one. Maintenance. Okay. So these are what database development steps: analysis, design, develop, test, deploy, maintain. Okay, now then it is not only these steps are not only for database development, they follow these steps to develop any software, to develop web application using ASP.NET. They want to develop one web application using ASP.NET. They follow these steps. For any development, they follow these steps. That's why actually this is called SDLC. What is SDLC is? Software Development Life Cycle. So it is not only for database, for developing any software, they follow these steps. But our discussion is about what's the database development. And it is not only followed by software industry, it is also followed by mechanical industry. A car manufacturer also follow the same steps. Okay, now then next. So analyze the market, design the car, develop the car, test the car. Next, release the car into the market. Customers go to showroom, purchase the car. A maintenance is given to the customer. 6 months, 1 year maintenance is given to the customer. Civil industry also will follow the same steps. Okay, na? One builder is there. Is building, he constructing one building, he want to sell that building to the customer. So first analyze the market, design the building, construct the building, test it, and sell the building to the customers and provide maintenance to the customers. Okay, now then. So suppose, but our discussion is about what's a database. So before, suppose one bank is there, that bank wants a database. They want to use one database for some application. They want to use one database. So they contact what's a software development companies. First, what software companies will do? They analyze the requirement. They analyze what's the requirement. What is the client requirement? Analyze the requirement. Okay, na? Then. So after analyze the requirement, next one, design the database. First, analyze the requirement. So what is this requirement? Why you want database? Okay, then. So next, what the next step is? What? Design. So design the database. Okay, then. What is designing database means? Designing database. Designing database means designing what's it? Designing tables. Because inside the database, how you store the data? In the form of tables. So designing database means designing the tables. Who are going to do this? Database is what? Designed by database what? Designers and what's it? Architects. Okay, na? Then database is designed by designers and architects. How they design the database? So database is designed by using what? Design by using one method is what? ER model. Another method is what? Normalization. So database is designed by using two techniques. One technique is ER, one technique is normalization. So they are the methods to design what's a database. What is ER stands for? Entity relationship. Entity relationship model. Understood now? Then. So what for these two? What for these two? Design database. Okay, then. So now, sir, designing is okay now. Then, sir, which is difficult? Design and development. Which is difficult is design is difficult. A fresher can be part of what? Development, but fresher cannot be part of design. Okay, now because for development, what you need? You want to develop one website. What you need? You need technical knowledge. Knowledge on C#, knowledge on ASP, knowledge on SQL Server. If you know these three, you can develop website. Yes or no? So for development, what you need? Technical knowledge. Okay, na? Then, but for design, what you need? Sir, see, development, you need technical knowledge. But how you get the technical knowledge? How you get the technical knowledge? Come to Ameerpet, join a course, learn the technology. Yes or no? You'll get the technical knowledge by attending a course. But design, what is required? Design, you need two. What are the two? Technical plus domain knowledge. Technical knowledge plus domain knowledge. What is domain knowledge is? So suppose you want to design a database for bank, you need knowledge on banking industry. To design a database for insurance company, you need knowledge on insurance industry. To design a database for pharma company, you need knowledge on pharma industry. That means for design, what is required? Domain knowledge. What that is? Domain knowledge. But how they get the domain knowledge? How we get the domain knowledge? So technical knowledge means you can attend the course, but how you get the domain knowledge? You'll get the domain knowledge by experience. You do one or two projects on banking, automatically you'll get the knowledge on banking industry. You do one or two projects on insurance, then automatically you'll get the knowledge on insurance industry. So how we get the domain knowledge? Experience. That is why, so a fresher can be part of development, but fresher cannot be part of design. They ask for what? Experience. Understood? Why? Because why they ask experience? But if you got experience means you also have domain knowledge. Understood that? So now, okay, then. So next, sir, design is completed. Database design is ready. Database design is ready means, sir, building plan is ready. Building plan is ready means where is the plan? Where is the plan? The plan is there on paper. Blueprint. Blueprint is ready. So that blueprint is there on paper. Yes or no? Similarly, database design is ready. Database design is ready means where are the tables? Tables are there on paper only. Yes or no? Can we store the data? No. Then you have to create the tables inside the computer. Create the tables inside this computer. So creating the tables inside this computer, that is called development. That is called development. What is the next step? Development. Then, so next, database is what? Database is developed by database what? Developers and what's that? DBS. So who are involved in development? These two, developers and DBS. DBA means database what? Admin. Database admin. So these two people are involved in development, database developers and database admin. How they develop the database? So database is developed by using any what? RDBMS tool like what's it? SQL Server. Understood? How database designed? By using these two methods. How the database is developed? By using RDBMS tools like SQL Server. That means what is SQL Server? SQL Server is development tool or design tool. SQL Server is development tool or design tool. Development tool. So it is used for database development, not used for database design. Got it? Then. So now, then, sir, who are involved in this? Who are involved in development? Okay, now two people. What are the two peoples? One is developer, another one DBA. What is the difference? Okay, na? So there are two persons involved in development, developers and DBAs. What the difference is? Difference is roles and responsibilities are different. So developer is involved in some activities, DBA is involved in some activities. Okay, so what are the roles of developer? Then every day is involved in what activities? Then creating what's it? Developer creates what? Create tables, create what? Views, not only tables, creates views, create what? Synonyms, create what? Sequence, create what? Okay, indexes, create what? Procedures, create what? Functions, create functions, create what? Triggers, like this. Writing queries. Writing queries. That's so what are these? These are the day-to-day activities of what? Developer. Every day, developer is involved in creating tables, creating views, creating synonyms, sequence, indexes, procedures, functions, triggers, writing queries. Okay, now then. So these are the activities of developer. So you'll be learning in this course, you'll be learning all this. Understood? You'll be learning all this in this course. Next one. So what are the activities of DBA? Activities. Sir, okay. Suppose, for example, a new project is started. A new project, a new .NET project is started. For that project, they want to use SQL Server database. Then what DBA will do? DBA will take one system, will take one computer. In this computer, he install what's it? SQL Server. A new .NET project is started, but for the .NET project, they want to use a SQL Server database. Then what DBA has? DBA will take one system. In that system, he install what? SQL Server. So after installing SQL Server, what is the system is called? The system is called server. The system is called server. Okay, na? Then inside the server, he creates what? Database for the new project. Inside the server, he creates what? Database. He creates the database for the new project. Okay, then so then not only one database, maybe he creates number of databases for that project. So if they require 10 databases, they create 10 databases. So if it requires 100 databases, then he creates 100 databases. So he creates databases for that project. Then tell me, one of the activities, what's it? One of the activities, what? Installation. Installation of what? SQL Server. Okay, na? Then, so installation of SQL Server. Next one. What is the next one? Creating what's it? Database. Create the database. Okay, then. So now what is ready for the new project? Server is ready. Inside the server, database is also ready. Suppose there are two developers assigned to work with the database. Two developers. Developer 1, next one, developer 2. There are two developers assigned to work with the database. Every day, these developers have to connect to the server from their laptop. They connect to the server, work with the database. So connect to the server, work with the database. But to connect to the server, what is required? So then you want to connect to what's the server. So to connect to the server, what is required? So I want to connect to the database. Then what it is asking? Username and password. Okay, na? Then, so to connect to the server, what is required? Username and password. So one user ID password is created for developer 1. One user ID password is created for developer 2. So who create the logins for the developers? Admin. Okay, na? What are the another activities? Creating what's it? Logins. Create logins for the developers. Okay, then server is ready. Inside the server, database is ready. Logins also created for the developers. Every day, developers will connect to the, using that login, they connect to the server, work with the database. Okay, now suppose they're working with the database since 1 month. They have been working with the database since what, sir? 1 month. Okay, then they created some tables. They created 100 tables where all the 100 tables are there. That 100 tables are there in what? Database. That 100 tables are there in what, sir? Database. So then all these 100 tables are there in database. But suppose today they found that database is damaged. Database is corrupted. Okay, na? Database is what, sir? Damaged. If database is damaged, that 100 tables are also damaged or not? Yes. Okay, then. So then if database is gone, just you contact what? DBA. Within 2 minutes, you'll recover the database. You contact the DBA. Within 2 minutes, he will recover. How? See, because what they do every day, they copy this database to one file. They copy the database to one file. What that file is called? This file is called backup file. What this file is called? Backup file. So every day copy the database to the backup file. When this backup is useful, this backup is useful if original file is what, sir? Damaged. You can recover the database from the backup. So recovering the database from the backup is called restore. Then who must know how to take the backup? Database what, sir? Backup and what? Restore. So take the backup, and if database is corrupted, restore the database. Restoring the database is called, sorry, recovering the database is called restore. Okay, then next one. So now, sir, database is ready. Database is what, sir? Ready. So where it is database is developed? This database is developed in what, sir? TCS. Now database is there in which server? Server is there in TCS. Now database is there in TCS. But this database is developed for some client. Who is that client? Some bank. Now what you have to do? Deliver this database to, sir, here. So now this is TCS server. This is bank server. Now where is the database? Database is there in TCS server. Now you have to move the database to bank server. Okay, na? So now moving the database from one server to another server. What that is called? That is called database what, sir? export and import. What that is called? Export and import. Moving the database from one place to another place. Like India, export import. India move the goods from one country to another country. That is export and import. Similarly, moving the database from one server to another server. So who must know this export and import? Huh? DBA. Who must know this? DBA. So database admin. Okay. Next. Suppose then, sir, suppose sometimes, see, SQL server is taking more time to process the request. Suppose you send a request to SQL server. So SQL server is taking more time to respond. Okay, na? You send a request to SQL server, but SQL server is taking more time. Then you need to improve the performance. Improving the performance is called performance what? Tuning. So SQL server is slow. Performance is slow. You need to improve the performance. Improving the performance is called performance tuning. So who should know this? DB. So what are these activities of developer? Activities of what's it? DB. But suppose like you want to, you are learning .NET course, you want to become .NET developer. For .NET developer, what is required? This is required. You don't need this. You don't need the topics of what? DBA. What you need? You need the topics related to developer. You don't need this DBA concepts. Who need this DBA? Who need this DBA? Who want to develop their career in what's that? SQL server. You want to become a SQL server developer. After some years, you want to become DBA. You want to go say cloud side like that. So his aim is what? Database admin, cloud admin, database admin, later cloud admin. So you want to go that side. Then you need DBA concepts. You want to become Java developer, .NET developer, Power BI, then you don't need DBA concept. You need only this concept. Understood? Then. Okay, now? Then. But in our class, we'll create database because without database, you cannot do anything. We create logins also. Okay, na? So you'll be learning how to backup, how to import that. Because this is not a just half an hour time. How to take backup, how to restore, how to export, import. This is half an hour time. That's okay, na? Then. Okay, na? Now. So now, next we'll see testing, deployment, maintenance in tomorrow's class. Okay, na? Hmm? Huh? Oh. So we'll see that in the next class, testing, deployment. This is just only 15-20 minutes time. Then after completing, then we can start SQL server. Oh. Mm, mm. Same. Oh. Okay. Yes. This is the like SQL server. SQL. Either SQL users. అంటే మీకు ఏం కావాలనేది ఒక ఐడియా ఉందా? అంటే సమ్ క్వరీస్ మీకు కావాల్సిన క్వరీస్ జాయిన్స్ కవర్ అవుతుంది, సబ్ క్వరీస్ కవర్ అవుతుంది, సిటీఈస్ అవన్నీ కవర్ అవుతాయి. ఎస్ ఎస్ డెఫినెట్. ఇది థియరీ అసలు. దిస్ ఇస్ ఎస్. అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఇది ఈ కోర్స్ ఏంటి అంటే కొంతమంది .NET వాళ్ళు ఉంటారు, టెస్టింగ్ వాళ్ళు ఉంటారు, పవర్ బిఐ వాళ్ళు ఉంటారు. అసలు ఊప్స్ మేము ఇక్కడేం చెప్పం. ఓకేనా? ఆ, ఆ, ఆ. అంటే అది వేరు, ఇది వేరు. ఓకేనా? దెన్ ఉండదు, ఉండదు. ఉమ్. ఎక్కువ కోడింగ్ ఉండదు. అంతే, క్వరీసే ఉంటాయి. ఎస్, కోడింగే ఉండదు. 1 month 10 days, 1 month 15 days. ఓకే. Syllabus, I'll share it. I'll share it. Please wait. I will share it once they create the Google class. I'll share the course content. Okay, na? Okay, then I'll share the course content. Okay, then I'll show that how to download, how to create everything. I'll show that. We are in the beginning. That's all. I'm just explaining the theory concept. Everything I'll show that. How to download, how to install, how to create the logins. I'll show that everything. Okay, na? Then Venkat Reddy, Virender Reddy. Okay, na? So we do the development, database development is using SSMS only. Okay, na? Okay, then. So, okay, guys.